Hello again. This is video number 4, and today we're going to talk a little bit about training nutrition. Training nutrition is kind of more flashy and exciting compared to daily nutrition, because I know daily nutrition gets mundane, but it's still the most important part. So always pay attention to what you're eating every day. Training nutrition, on the other hand, is about eating immediately before, during, and after training. So the reason why it's important to separate these two things and think of them differently is in training nutrition, we don't want things like flax and oats so much. We don't want things that are going to stay in our stomachs a long time. When you eat those really healthy, fibrous foods like fruits and vegetables, they stay in your stomach, and the rate that they're digested and get to your bloodstream isn't that fast. In fact, it's slow. When you're training, the last thing you want is something in your stomach. You want nutrients in a form that your body can use in your bloodstream and ready for your cells. And that's going to be very different than what you eat on a day-to-day if you're eating a healthy diet. So a lot of times when athletes want to be very healthy, they will be too healthy when they go into training nutrition. And by that, I mean they're still eating all these fibers and these fruits and vegetables that don't give them very many calories or carbs, and they're not effective or ready for immediate energy stores. So in training nutrition, here's what we want. About 30 minutes to 60 minutes before training, most athletes will do well with some sort of snack, especially if you're hungry or if it falls between a time when you haven't eaten in a couple hours. Something like a banana is a good choice. Raisins can be a good choice. Now, this is very individual, so it's important that you kind of try things in training and see what works for you. Things like Clif Bars are usually a good choice. A Nutri-Grain bar would work well. A lot of people can use like a toasted bagel. You don't need a lot. You don't want to overload your system with too much to digest. If it's the morning of a meet, and let's say you run at like 10 a.m., something you can do is have your breakfast 3 hours before that, around 7, and then just a quick snack 60 minutes before that. So that would be like a toasted bagel with honey or a little bit of peanut butter on top. You want things that are easy for you to digest. So you can kind of tell when you look at a food, is this fibrous? Is this going to be difficult for me? The next part, during training. When it's during training, if it's more than 60 minutes, you will perform better if you hydrate and if you add in some carbs. Some easy things to use for hydration. If it's only around 60 minutes, then water is fine. But if it's going to be a lot longer, use some carbs. You can use things like Scratch Labs are great. Osmo is another good brand. Carbo Rocket is good. Even Gatorade is okay for a good, and they're doing a lot better job with not using high fructose corn syrup and using good quality ingredients. So all of that's okay. Another thing you can do if you want to do something quick is 10 ounces of water with 10 ounces 100% juice plus 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Mix that together for 20 ounces and you've got a decent sports drink. So you can give your body these carbs. You can also use things for carbohydrates like mango strips are great. Another one are dates are great. Things like mini Clif Bars are good. Honey Stinger makes good gels, so something like that is good for during if it's a longer training session. Or if you're doing cardio and then weights afterwards, having some carbs in between will definitely help you during that second half. The last thing is recovery nutrition. Within 30 minutes, you need to have some carbohydrates, some protein, and some fluids. You know, you've heard of chocolate milk being a good recovery. It's a great recovery, so you can use that. You can also use something like a smoothie or a shake. If you don't want to use those, you can use a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a bagel with peanut butter and banana, something like that. It doesn't have to be a commercial product, but all of those are good choices. Also have some water at the same time. So those are kind of the 3 aspects: before, during, and after. And of course, we can work on those specifics when you work with me with Team Prep.